Well, howdy, 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 everybody. Teresa here with
Ready.
and with the critters. It is April 24th, 2021, and it is Saturday afternoon at 4:21 p.m. already. I didn't realize it was so late.
Well, when you're having fun.
No wonder I am kind of hungry. Anyway, I thought I'd come on here and talk a little bit about what's been going on and about self-care and even self-love. So yesterday I had my appointment with my cardiologist, and it went a little differently than they thought it was going to go. And this is what I want to talk about when, if you know things are changing within your body or your health care, and you know that maybe what the original plan was isn't really what you need now. I talked to you guys about the fact that I can't see quite well. I'm kind of washed out today. I wonder if I do this. Is that better? Is that better? No, it's not. I don't know what's better. I guess that's better. Anyway, I had to stop taking my trosamide, which is a super strong Lasix. Originally, they had me. I'll do a quick back for those of you that are new, or maybe busy and don't really remember. But I was taking 200 milligrams. I was prescribed that of trosamide, which is massive. And it got to the point where it got me so dehydrated and stuff that I was lightheaded, I was dizzy, I was even passing out. So they put me in the hospital. They ran a whole bunch of tests. They weren't sure if it was my heart or what it was. Turned out to be too much of the Lasix. And I'm the one that first suggested to them in the hospital that I thought maybe it was too much of the trosamide. And then they ran tests and stuff and concluded that yeah, that's what it was. So we've been messing around with it, 50 and then 100, and the same thing started happening. Was I started getting really dizzy again. So I decided that I'm going to just stop, because I only had a week until I saw the doctor. I was going to stop the trosamide altogether and then talk with them. And so I went in Friday, and they had originally wanted me to go do lab work and then come in for possible 4-hour IV Lasix. Well, I knew I wasn't going to need the Lasix because I had to quit the trosamide at 100 milligrams. And I forgot that she was going to want lab work first. So I went in for the appointment and stuff. And then the receptionist says, well, she wants you to go for lab work. So can you run over there and do that and come back? And I'm like, well, I don't really think I need lab work because, and I explained to her that I had to quit taking this. And she goes, well, she has a standing order. She wants you to go do lab work. And I said, well, my husband's in a cast, and I don't want to have to, run him all the way out there and then, drive down to another part of the hospital, walk all the way in there, which is pretty far back in there, and stuff. And so then it was kind of like they were going to reschedule my appointment. I'm standing there. And the one gal says she was going to reschedule it. And I'm like, okay, well, if that's what we need to do, then that's what we need to do. I said, I'm not going to have the IV Lasix. I said, I don't want that, and I don't need it. And she's like, oh, okay. And so the other gal says, so you had to stop the Lasix because the same thing was happening. And I said, yes. She goes, hang on a minute. And I think they went back, talked to the doctor, and they're like, she'll still see you. So we didn't have to do the lab. I didn't have to do lab work. We had a quick appointment. Went back there. My weight was down, and I didn't have any swelling or anything. And she's like, yeah, only take the trosamide 50 milligrams if you have to. If you start getting real swollen, then call me. But otherwise, I'll see you in a month. So, and I think it's important for all of us. I want to talk to. I know that we were all, if you're our age or older, and I'm in my 50s, and Brad is in he's just 60. Um, we were taught to be very obedient toward anybody in authority, including doctors. But guys, we know our bodies best. I'm not saying fight with your doctor at all. But if you know that you're taking a certain drug that you're having a bad reaction to, or you think maybe it's too much, you have a right to stop that. That's why they give that whole list of possible side effects on a drug, and then bad side effects that you need to call your doctor right away, or perhaps go into the emergency room. You have a right. Don't forget the doctors and nurses, you pay their wages, their salaries. You're paying that. They, in effect, are working for you and should have your best interest at heart. But you know your body best, and you know what you want to have done. My doctor can suggest all day long different tests that they would like me to have, and I'm going to pick and choose which ones I'm going to have. Sometimes doctors would love to have you just come in and do test after test. Well, guys, we're not guinea pigs. And all those tests they want to run, we have to pay co-pays on. Or we have to pay whatever the insurance doesn't pick up. There's nothing wrong with questioning your doctor. There's nothing wrong with picking and choosing. I look at when they say they want to do this test and that test, that they are suggestions. That doesn't mean we're going to run every test. That doesn't mean we're going to do everything they want us to do. I'm going to pick and choose what best suits my lifestyle, my age, my ability, and what I think I need to have and I don't need to have. And I think we all need to remember that. And that's why if you don't care for a doctor, or if you're questioning their diagnosis, you go for a second opinion. You go for a third opinion. Do some of your homework. Brad and I were kind of questioning what they're doing with him with the cast. He is very, very super uncomfortable and in a lot of pain because of the cast and because of his disability with his back and that hip. That's all on the same leg, on side of the body. He is in a lot of pain, and so we were kind of questioning what they were doing, and we did find out that everything that we were reading suggests that you keep off of that um, uh, wound and stuff. So you know, I still want to do some research so to see if there's different therapies other than casting because you are so uncomfortable.
You know, and this cast, I'm guessing it adds at least 10 pounds to this leg. And with the hip pain,
And when
um,
you already have a hip that is oh, she's limping, honey. Nixie, come here. Honey, what's wrong with her?
well, she's fine.
I'll just kind of rub her little back
Yeah,
legs.
a
She's
lot of,
getting older.
yeah,
You're getting older too, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't jump as well as she
If
used
she
to.
keeps that up, I might start with like a baby aspirin a day for the arthritis. Because I think she's just getting a little.
Yeah,
I mean,
Nick
she
seems to
wasn't
be
really
getting
limping. She was kind of stiff legged. But, too, they played hard this morning. Her and Charlie.
and yesterday,
Yeah, but this morning they played for a long, long time.
yeah,
Yeah, and she was running all over. And it's raining today. But yeah, that cast adds a good 10 pounds. He's already, that hip is already giving him a lot of trouble normally. And then when you add that much weight, and then it's bent at an angle that is not customary for him. You're going to have to decide on and talk with the doctor more about the way they're maneuvering and because of the hip and stuff. Because if you don't say anything, he doesn't know.
Yeah.
All he sees, and because he's a specialist, is that wound.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that with them coming in and doing those kind of manipulations to your foot and stuff, and then two, talking to him about is there a lighter weight cast material? Because we're keeping it in the boot. Is there anything that's lighter weight or
Yeah.
something? Because, there might not be, but, we'll talk with him and do some research. But, and it was kind of funny yesterday because she never did end up needing more lab work from me. So, that would have been more wasted money. And I know that my wonderful friend Carol put, and I'm so far behind on replying to messages, Kathy and Carol, and I'm so sorry. I will get on that this afternoon. I have felt very kind of overwhelmed this week, and I think maybe that's part of the Asperger's. But when I feel very overwhelmed, you guys, I don't really, well, I kind of shut down to everybody else and just concentrate on my little circle right here, which is Brad and the critters. And it was one rough week, people. It just was. I don't know why. I do know why. When they put him in a cast and stuff, and I'm already doing most stuff around the house, but now um he needs a bit more help, like a little bit of assistance getting dressed, getting stuff over that cast. That's what it is. And anybody would need that. But you put the way his hip is, and then you put this great big cast. I'm saving the boot and the cast because for Halloween I want to glue the cast back together, and I'm gonna make an Eddie Munster, you know, decoration outside of our house. But I'm serious about that. But so he needs some assistance with that. He needs some assistance with getting up and down out of the recliner. And just trying to go and do more stuff so he doesn't have to keep getting up and down and stuff. And it also made my sciatica super bad yesterday. I don't know why, but it was last night. We think I was in more pain than him because it was from the base of my spine and going down both legs every time I moved or anything. It was just, we had a hard time sleeping last night. Um, Man, it was 4:30 before we got sleep easily. Yeah. But we managed, and that's what we're doing. We did get outside yesterday afternoon and got the rest of the tomatoes planted, and we did plant some stuff in pots, just seeds. But I didn't finish everything because I just ran out of gumption, and so did Brad. We were really starting to both hurt and everything. The nice thing about the rain today, though, honey, it's knocked a lot of that pollen out of the air.
Very true.
We've both been all snotted up because of the pollen, like everybody else. But stand up for yourself. I was super nice to the receptionist and everything, and so she was like, "Oh, sure." When I said I'm not going to do the Lasix and IV Lasix and stuff, I don't want to stay there for 4 hours. Frankly, if you need to run an IV Lasix on me, you put the IV in, give me the bag, and with all of the Lasix in it and stuff, and send me home. I can sit in my own home for 4 hours and do this, even if you want to give me an IV pole or have me hang it up wherever, and then I'll come back in 4 hours or something. But I mean, we've run IV antibiotics. Both of us have.
Yep.
At home. So,
Yeah.
but stand up for yourself because you don't have to. Sometimes, like I said, these doctors want to keep running a bajillion tests when it's no longer necessary. I mean, they CAT scanned me, MRI'd me, uh, did ultrasounds, they did all kinds of chemical tests on me, and I'm glad they did. Don't get me wrong, I know that there's nothing wrong with my heart. I mean, the only reason I seen a cardiologist yesterday was she just wanted to check the swelling and stuff. She said my lungs sound good. My pulse ox was 98, 99. You don't get any better than that. I'm a former smoker and I'm 56. And it's very pollen out. That's super. And my uh, pulse was, she said, 100 to 103. That's super. My blood pressure was great. It was 130 over 86, which for me is fabulous. Used to be so much higher.
Yeah.
So I'm doing very well. So I'll see her in a month. I think I'm going to cancel my endocrinologist. I don't see why I need to see one right now. Um, my diabetes is pretty well under control. It could be a little bit better, but I'm still sharing my fast-acting insulin with Brad. So as soon as we get him on board and he has his own, then I will be taking more of mine, and we'll be back to worrying about getting too low, which was what was happening before. But you do what you have to do. You know, I'm not the only person sharing insulin or whatever. I know there's a lot of us out there, and I just we need to really scale back. All these doctor appointments and stuff are just really getting to both of us. I just want to get back to the act of living. I would like to slowly get my house unpacked. I'm doing a new way of thinking. I'm doing a thing of we're doing the best we can right now. We are doing the absolute best we can. We aren't perfect. Nobody is, and we don't have to be. So it's our stuff. If it stays in boxes in those other bedrooms, who we're basically living in half of the mobile home right now, because we just like to all be together all the time. You usually will never find usually us. You'll never find us very far apart hardly. Um, the most you'll see is maybe an hour, hour and a half at the very most. That maybe I'm in the bedroom and he's out here, or vice versa, watching some TV, and then we'll come on back. We always watch a bit of police chases or something on YouTube before we go to sleep, and I like that routine. Last night we watched a movie out here, right?
Yeah.
And then we started to watch a movie in back, and it just wasn't a very good one. And so we watched some police chases for a while, and but that's why we picked this because like Bright can be in the kitchen cooking, and it's all an open floor plan. So I mean, we just have a kind of a counter that separates the two, and so we're still visiting and everything else. You know, like I'm sure you hear the washer right now. So we'll eventually get that unpacked. Okay, I'm just cutting myself some slack and stuff. We're doing the best we can. Um, you know, yeah, I'd like to find the Dune dishes I bought. Yeah, I need some more money for bedding plants and stuff. Yeah, that would be nice. But I did. We ordered today some peonies. Peonies mean a lot because his mom loved peonies. Brad loved peonies. I like peonies, so we ordered some to put in some pots and stuff. Um, you know, I think we're gonna. I'm not sure. I think we're gonna go ahead and do mounds, right?
Uh,
For the cucumbers and that. I think we will. I just want to get some weed barrier. Type that in Amazon and look at that. Or
okay.
they have it there at Walmart too. You know, because any kind of weed barrier, they make that woven kind, so you still can, your plant still could establish roots and stuff. But
Yeah.
to do the cucumbers and pumpkin, watermelon, and cantaloupe. And then I think we are going to plant a bit of corn, and then I got some sunflower seeds. I love sunflowers. So anyway, we're getting there. And another thing I wanted to talk about with you is, I know most of my audience is ladies, but this would go for guys too. Is, as we get older and our looks change, and a lot of times we're not real happy with, you know, I'm not the hot girl that I was when I was in high school, definitely, or early 20s.
Me neither.
You're not either.
No.
And I've accepted that and I'm okay with it, But we forget that maybe we should just do kind things for ourselves just because they feel good. Like I was this morning, I was putting on some lotion because my shins and stuff are horribly dry because they used to leak and stuff, and now they're healing up until they're very, very dry, almost leathery sometimes. So I've been putting lotion on them, and it just feels really good, and it makes me smell nice, and I feel good. And then I'll put some on my arms, even though my arms are not spectacular. Again, it just feels good, and then I'll put some on my lotion on my face, just because that feels really nice. And just the kind of stuff, that self-care that you do for yourself, not for anybody else. I mean, you know it's just showering just because it feels good, putting on lotion or a bit of cologne, or a bit of perfume, just because you like how it makes you feel. you know that's the whole thing. It doesn't matter the looks, it's just how it makes you feel. Because quite frankly, like today, like this, I'm just in this very loose house dress that probably looks horrible, but it feels really nice on me. And this is my at-home clothes. I have my going out of the house clothes and my at-home clothes. My at-home clothes, of course, do not include a brassiere. I never go out of the house usually. I don't go anywhere without a brassiere or my teeth in. And that's just me. But you know, it makes you feel nice. You're allowed to pamper yourself and make yourself feel good, even if you're not going to see a single soul. You know, that's what Brad does. Him pamper himself, and just 'cause him feel makes him feel good, right, honey?
Makes me feel
Me, you
pretty.
comb your hair and you brush your teeth, even though you're not going to be seeing a single soul. You know, because just because you want to, or maybe you won't because you don't want to. It's just like I do these diamond paintings, and I have a stack of them. I'm probably going to do giveaways on some of them because I have so many of them. And I'll do a picture, and it's like I just enjoy doing it, you know. And so I wanted to show you guys the progress on my one that I'm working on. It's actually from a picture of us, and I showed you guys the other day, but it's slowly starting to take more shape. So you're starting to see my mug. Isn't that something? I'm amazed with working at this, and I'll start doing like my face, and I'm like, and some of the questions you kind of question the color of the drills, and as you work them, it's like, okay, I don't know, it's just kind of an awing, awing, just kind of an amazing process to me. Like I said, first time I've ever done one from a picture. I can't wait to get the other ones done because it'll be nice.
Can I back up the party train here for a
Sure.
bit? You were talking about doing the 5D because you just enjoy doing it.
Diamond paint.
Yeah, that too. But remember a couple, 3 years ago when you were talking about how much you enjoyed illuminating, but you didn't know what to do with.
Right.
And then you came up with the idea of hats for 50 states, which gave you a chance. You could still make hats and then know
Yeah.
that they're going to people that would really appreciate
And
them.
I'm gonna start working on those more again, and I'm probably gonna do some painting. We gotta clean up. If you could clean off that table, or I don't need all of it cleaned off, but if I could have even like 3/4 of it cleaned off, you could leave that milk crate with all the different aluminum foils and stuff.
When were you going to want to?
Here in a little bit.
Okay, we can do that.
I have a feeling I know what you want to go do.
What's that?
Are you gonna want to go take a nap, or are you gonna tough it out today so you'll sleep tonight?
It doesn't matter
What do you
whether I
mean?
take a nap or not.
Well, then you do what you want to do. I want to do some I want to do some painting, or drawing or something. Um, I may paint tomorrow. Actually, I would have to sit and draw something out before I started. I kind of have this idea of some kind of a flowing wing type underwater vision in my head.
That's
Yeah. And it's almost like the real flowy fins of like uh fish. Like the decorative fish. But yeah. It'll be an abstract, I know that. So, or I don't know, if not, I think I will probably I really want to do some birds. We go to that city lake almost every time we're in Rocky Mount now. And I love watching them ducks and them geese. All of a sudden, they'll tip. So all you see is their butts. Because they're, getting fish or whatever. I just love watching that. Or if they know that, see, people are only supposed to feed them from the piers, and you're supposed to buy the bird food or whatever food for them, and then you can throw it out. And man, when they see somebody over at those designated piers, you'll see a whole flock of ducks and geese and the baby ones, they can go, man. And man, they'll make a beeline. It's so cute to watch. It is so cute to watch. I love watching them. It's just a beautiful park and stuff, and we go there all the time. What's it? Last week we went a couple times, and we just enjoy that. We've gone there every season now, just about. So, we love it. And if I was getting married or something, that what is it? That round. What's it called?
That little gazebo out there.
Yeah, that's where I would have a wedding. Just saying. I'm not gonna because I'm already married.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But remember that the two mallards that were there sleeping just not too far from us, with their little head tucked under their little wings.
They were very cute. So we love it. We enjoy it. It's a beautiful park. All the flowering. This all the flowering bushes and trees around here. Just so freaking pretty. Not used to all the stuff being in bloom and stuff because a lot of times in Wyoming, the trees will start to bud out and they'll start to flower out like the snowball bushes and everything, and then you'll get that heavy, wet, freezing snow, and it will literally kill off everything that was blooming. So this has been a real treat. Really love it. And I know that we had flowering stuff there in Crawfordville in Florida, but we didn't have the seasonal change like we do here. And so it's just, I feel like a newborn baby because it's like my first spring ever to witness in fullness. Seriously.
Well, in Florida, there was pretty much only 2 seasons, hot and hotter.
Yeah. And like I said, but I've never witnessed a whole Now I see why a lot of people just love spring. I'll be a fan now. Anyway, um, yeah, like I said, don't be so hard on yourself. I won't be so hard on myself. I'm really super hard on myself.
Yes,
You know, I just want to be perfect all the time, and that's never going to happen. And, you know, I get overwhelmed, and then I get scared. And I keep telling Brad, I'm kind of overwhelmed and scared. And then I'm like, we're doing okay for what's been going on. We're doing okay. We're managing. I've stepped it up a whole bunch, and because I needed to. Otherwise, the house isn't clean. And I mean, it's not perfect. It never is. We have animals and we live in it, so and I'm not cleaning it to put on a show or anything. But we're doing pretty good. What's that? Are you done with that cup over there though? Over there.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably need to throw it away then.
Yeah, I do.
So anyway, love you guys, and I do cherish your friendship so much. I will be replying to you very soon, Kathy and Carol. And I don't know if my friend Anne, if she happens to be watching this, if her family members are having her watch it. But I love you, and I hope that you get feeling better. Um, you know, don't don't think that you're not important just because you're having a lot of health problems, because you are, and you are very loved. So anyway, love you guys, and we will talk to you later. Say bye, Brad.
Bye, Brad.
Bye, guys.